Hi, Thrifty Tim here with another special. This is the last of them. I'm going to show you some of my soundtracks today that I had, or that it's not going to be all. I'm mainly doing them where there were big stars, and I don't mean like just singing in the movie and stuff like in the 80s. A lot of them, they just took, for soundtracks, they just took songs from different groups and played them in the movie. And so when you got the soundtrack, it would be albums full of those songs. I want to apologize to you, my viewers, too, that for not coming on yesterday. I had it scheduled and everything. I was and a little but I wasn't feeling too well yesterday, and a little before I came up, I had a feeling I wouldn't have been able to make it through all of it, so I had canceled it, and so that's why I'm doing it today. So with that said, let me start showing you the albums. First up is Smokey and the Bandit. This is the first one. It's on MCA Records from 1977. Of course, this is a classic movie from that year, so you might have heard some of the music on there. So the tracks on side one are The Legend. I'm not trying to see because I know some of it that Jerry Reed sings on here, but it's not showing who's singing, it looks like. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, so the songs on here in 7 are, first one is The Legend, incidental CB dialogue, then Westbound and Down, of course that's Jerry Reed doing that one, then Foxy Lady. Then after that, some more incidental CB dialogue, the Orange Blossom Special, The Bandit, the March of the Rednecks, and If You Leave Me Tonight, I'll Cry. And side 2 has Eastbound and Down, incidental CB dialogue included, The Bandit. Again, just a shortened version of it, and the Light Played On, Cousin Play Steel, Hot Pants Fuzz Parade, incidental CB dialogue, and then the reprise of the Bandit. Next up is the Electric Horseman with Willie Nelson doing some of the songs on it. And that's from 1979 on Casablanca, and it's not a gatefold. And the tracks on here are on side 1, Midnight Rider by Heroes That Have Always Been Cowboys, Mama Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, So You Think You're a Cowboy, and Hands on the Wheel. Side 2, Electro Phantasma, Rising Star Love Theme, The Electric Horseman, Interlude, Tumbleweed Morning, Disco Magic, and Freedom Epilogue. Hi Calvin, how are you doing today? Next one up is Jesus Christ Superstar. I'm trying to remember whether this is a rich movie motion picture soundtrack or the Broadway one. I have both, and see, the reason why I included it, even though they're in the cast there's 2 people that are in the movie that the top 40 hits after that. That was Vanya Elliman, she does I Don't Know How to Love Him. I think that was it for her even, and she had even an even bigger hit for on the movie Saturday Night Fever. Oh, it was Murray Head that played Jesus was. Let me see. Murray Head plays Judas the Priest. And for Jesus Christ, it was Ian Gillan, of all people. But it doesn't have a track listing that I can pull out even more. So I'll have to skip the telling you the tracks on there. Next one, this movie was a big movie in the 70s. It's American Graffiti. It is a gatefold. It's 2 LP. And and this is by various artists. And it says introductions by a howling, prowling wolfman Jack. Okay, the tracks on side 1 are We're Gonna Rock and Roll Around the Clock by Bill Haley and the Comets, 16 Candles by the Crest, Runaway by Del Shannon, I Do Fools Fall in Love by Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers, That'll Be the Day by Buddy Holly, Fannie Mae by Buster Brown, At the Hop by Flash Cadillac and the Continental Kids, She's So Fine by Flash Cadillac and the Continental Kids, The Stroll by the Diamonds, See You in September by the Tempos. Okay, that was side 1. Side 2 has Surfing Safari by the Beach Boys, He's a Great Imposter by the Fleetwoods, Almost Dawn by Chuck Berry, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by the Platters, Little Darlin' by the Diamonds, Peppermint Twist by Joey D and the Starlighters, Barbara Ann by the Regents, The Book of Love by the Monotones, Maybe Baby by Buddy Holly, Ya Ya by Lee Dorsey, and The Great Pretender by the Platters. Side 3 has Ain't That a Shame by Fats Domino, Trying to Be Good by Chuck Berry, I Only Have Eyes for You by the Flamingos, Get a Job by the Silhouettes, To the Aisle by the Five Satins, Do You Wanna Dance by Bobby Freeman, Party Doll by Buddy Knox, Come Go With Me by the Del Loggins, You're 16, You're Beautiful, and You're Mine by Johnny Burnett, and Love Potion Number 9 by the Clovers. Side 4 has Since I Don't Have You by the Skyliners, Chantilly Lace by the Big Bopper, Teenager by Mark Denning, Crying in the Chapel by Sonny Till and the Oreos, 1,000 Miles Away by the Heartbeats, Heart and Soul by the Cleftones, Green Onions by Booker T and MGs, Only You and You Alone by the Platters, Good Night, Well It's Time to Go by the Spaniels, and All Summer Long by the Beach Boys. So it has a lot of 50s and early 60s hits there. Now this one's an interesting one. This is a box set that I have all. It has everything in with it. I think there's a poster in there even, but I can't get it out now. But this is called a movie called Out This in World War II. The movie pretty much flopped, but the soundtrack is pretty good. It's various groups performing with the London Symphony Orchestra, and they're all Beatles songs, because the movie showed footage of World War II, and they'd be playing and Beatles music would be playing in the background for the folk, and so on side one there's Magical Mystery Tour with Ambrosia, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by Elton John, Golden Slumbers, Carried That Weight by the Bee Gees, I Am the Walrus by Leo Sayer, She's Leaving Home by Brian Ferry, Lovely Rita by Roy Wood, When I'm 64 by Keith Moon. Those are side one. Side two is Get Back by Rod Stewart, Let It Be by Leo Sayer, Yesterday by David Essex, Jeff Lynne, Because. Wait, no, it's with a little help from my friends and Nowhere Man, Jeff Lynne does those. Because, Lindsay DePaul. She Came In Through the Bathroom Window of the Bee Gees. Michelle, Richard Caccianti, I think. Okay, side three is We Can Work It Out by the Four Seasons. The Fool on the Hill, Helen Reddy. Maxwell Silverhammer, Frankie Lane, Hey Jude, the Brothers Johnson, Polythene Pam, Roy Wood, Sun King, the Bee Gees, Getting Better by Status Quo. Then side four is The Long and Winding Road, Leo Sayer, Help, Henry Gross, Strawberry Fields Forever, Peter Gabriel, A Day in the Life, Frankie Valli, Come Together, Tina Turner, You Never Give Me Your Money by Will Malone and Lou Reznor, and the end by the London Symphony Orchestra. So that's an interesting soundtrack, but I like it. I really like Ambrosia's cover of Magical Mystery Tour. Next one up is our Simon and Garfunkel, the movie's The Graduate. They play some of the music, and let me see. And the music that they don't play is done by Lee Gruson. He's known for jazz and jazz groups and stuff. Well, anyway, the songs on this one are on side one, Sounds of Silence, The Single Man Party Foxtrot, Mrs. Robinson, Sun Porch Cha-Cha-Cha, Scarborough Fair Canticle, it's an interlude, On the Strip, April Comes She Well, and The Folks. Side two has Scarborough Fair Canticle, A Great Effect, The Big Bright Green Pleasure Machine, Who, Mrs. Robinson, and Sounds of Silence. This next one is a movie from the 80s. It's a soundtrack with a lot of stars in it. That movie is Teachers, and it stars Nick Nolte, Joe Beth Williams, Judd Hirsch, and Ralph Macchio. Most of it takes place in a high school. I'll tell you that or in. I might have that wrong. It's been a while since I've seen it, but a lot of it takes place in a high school. So it's not a gatefold. The tracks on it are on side one, Teacher Teacher by 38 Special, One Foot Back in Your Door by Roman Holiday, That's a Dream by Joe Cocker, Interstate Love Affair by Night Ranger, and Feeling Around by Freddie Mercury, or Fooling Around by Freddie Mercury. Side 2 is Cheap Sunglasses by ZZ Top. Understanding by Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band. I Can't Stop the Fire by Eric Martin and Friends. In the Jungle, Concrete Jungle, The Motels, and I'm the Teacher by Ian Hunter. Next up is Burt Bacharach and B.J. Thomas. This is the soundtrack to Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And this is on A&M from it's not saying right now. Oh, no, I'm not finding it right now. But the tracks on it on side 1 are The Sundance Kid, Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. That's one of the 2 or 3 that he sings on here. Of course, it was a big hit for him. Not Going Home Anymore, and South American Getaway. Side 2 is Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. That's an instrumental by Dave Grusin. On a Bicycle, Belt for Joy, that's B.J. Thomas. Come Touch the Sun, the Old Fun City, New York Sequence, and Not Going Home Anymore reprise. A reprise, I should say. Okay, this next one is another big one, like from the early 80s. It's jam-packed with stuff by stars. It's Gatefold. Just some pictures from the movie. And the track lister. It's from 1980 on Full Moon and Asylum Records. The tracks on here, Jimmy Buffett sings Hello, Texas. The Charlie Daniels Band, the Falling in Love for the Night, and The Devil Went Down to Georgia. The Eagles with Lion Eyes. Dan Fogelberg with Times Like These. Mickey Kelly, Stand By Me, and Here Comes the Hurt Again. Johnny Lee, Looking for Love, and Cherokee Fiddle. Anne Murray, Could I Have This Dance? Bonnie Raitt, Darling, and Don't It Make You Wanna Dance? Linda Ronstadt and J.D. Souther, Hearts Against the Wind. Kenny Rogers, Love the Road Away. Ross Daggs, Look What You've Done to Me. Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, 9 Tonight. And Joe Walsh, All Night Long. This last one is one that Glenn Campbell was the star in. That's True Grit. He was in this with John Wayne and Tim Darby. It's a classic movie. I'd say watch that one, not the remake of it. And this, try and see if I can see the year for this. Not sure. I think it was like 69, 68, 69. And the songs on here are on side 1, True Grit, that's with Glenn Campbell singing. Rooster, Maddie and Little Jackie, Dastardly Deed, and Papa sings. Second side is True Grit, Jen Lee and the General, Big Trail, Cockburn Country, and A Dance with True Grit by by Glenn Campbell. It's a stripped down version of it though. Okay. Next is A Star Is Born. Oh. Yeah, I need to watch it from beginning to end too, Calvin. Here's Barbara Streisand and Chris Christopherson in their remake of A Star Is Born. It's been made like 2 or 3 times. And it's from 1976 on Columbia Records. It doesn't. It looks like that. Okay, I've got. It's just. It is only a single album, and it's just some pictures in the gatefold. The gatefold, I mean. So let me get it out. The tracks on this one are on side 1. It's Watch Closely Now. That Chris Christopherson singing. Then Barbara Streisand with Queen Bee. Then Everything with Barbara. Then Lost Inside of You with both Barbara and Chris. Then Hellacious Egg by Chris. Oh, Hellacious Egg or something. And then this love thing from The Star Is Born, Evergreen. That's Barbara Streisand. Side 2 has The Woman in the Moon, sung by Barbara. I Believe in Love, sung by Barbara. Cripple Crow, sung by Chris. Finale with One More Look at You, Watch Closely with Barbara. And reprise of the theme from A Star Is Born, Barbara and Chris. So that's that. That was a big soundtrack in the 70s for a while there. Okay, earlier I showed you the soundtrack to Smokey and the Bandit one. Here's the one for Smokey and the Bandit 2. That was just a humorous car chase movie. It's about like the first one. And so the tracks on this album are Texas Bound and Flying, but that's Jerry Reed, Charlotte's Web by the Statler Brothers, To Be Your Man by Don Williams, By Concrete Cowboy Ride by Roy Rogers, Deliverance of the Wildwood Flower, the Bandit Band, and Pecos Promenade, Tanya Tucker. That's on side 1. Side 2 is Here's Looking at You, that's Mel Tellis. Do You Know You Are My Sunshine, the Statler Brothers. Again and Again, Brenda Lee. Let's Do Something Cheap and Superficial, Burt Reynolds sings that one. Tulsa Time, Don Williams. Picking Love Stars Style at the Bandit Band. I'm not sure I have seen the one with them singing. I probably have, but I was so young I don't remember it. But that must be an interesting movie. Next is Godspell. It's a Christian album too. It's something like Jesus Christ Superstar. And this one's from 1973 on Bell Records. It's not a gatefold. And I'm just checking stuff here. Okay, so this the first song on side one is Prepare Ye the Way of the Lord. That's David Pascal and Company. And Save the People, that's Victor Garber and Company. Day by Day by Robin Lamont and Company. Well, I'll just read the names of the songs. This is musical, that's it, like a musical play. Okay, so on side one, first is Prepare Ye the Way of the Lord, Save the People, Day by Day, which was a big hit, Turn Back, O Man, Bless the Lord, All for the Best, and All Good Gifts. Side two has Light of the World, Alas for You, By My Side, Beautiful City, On the Willows, and Finale. That's a duplicate of Jesus Christ Superstar I had after that. Okay, here's one. It's a gatefold, and I haven't even opened the gatefold up. I'll do that in a moment. This is Stevie Wonder, The Woman in Red. It's like the credits and liner notes, so it looks like, or it could be lyrics. I can't tell from this angle. So yeah, but this is mainly Stevie Wonder here, and the tracks on this one are on side one, The Woman in Red. That's by Stevie Wonder. It's by Dionne Warwick and Stevie Wonder. It's More Than You, and I Just Can't Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder. Side two has Love Light in Flight, Stevie Wonder. Moments Aren't Moments, Dionne Warwick. Weakness, Dionne Warwick and Stevie Wonder. And Don't Drive Drunk, Stevie Wonder. I just don't want to see Stevie take the wheel. Okay, here's a John Hughes one from the 80s, Pretty in Pink from 1986. And it had a lot of songs by popular 80s artists like If You Leave by Orchestra, Maneuver in the Dark, Left of Center, Suzanne Vega featuring Joe Jackson, Get You Know Ya by Jesse Johnson, Do What You Do by NXS, Pretty in Pink by the Psychedelic Furs. That's on side one. On side two has Shell Shock and New Order. Shell Shock done by the New Order. Run Around done by Bill Lewis some. Then it's Won't It Be Good with Danny Hutton Hitters. Then Bring On the Dancing Horses with Echo and the Bunnymen. And the last one is Please, Please, Please Let Me Get What I Want. That's done by the Smiths. Next one was a real popular one in the mid-70s. That is Saturday Night Fever. Now, who doesn't own a copy of this album? This is a classic 70s album. See, there's just pictures on the inside, on the gatefold. So, the tracks on here are Staying Alive, How Deep Is Your Love, both by the Bee Gees, the Nirvana and Hellman, If I Can't Have You, Walter Murphy with the Fifth of Beethoven, the Bee Gees with Jive Talking, MFSB with KG, and Calypso Breakup by Ralph McDonald, More Than a Woman by Tavares, Neck Fever by the Bee Gees, Boogie Shoes by Casey and the Sunshine Band, Hot Disco Inferno by the Tramps, You Should Be Dancing by the Bee Gees, Open Sesame by Kool and the Gang, More Than a Woman by the Bee Gees, Manhattan Skyline, Night on Disco Mountain, and Sensation by David Shire. So that's all the tracks that were on the album. Next up, another one from the 80s. The Karate Kid, Part 2. This one has a Glory of Love theme from the Karate Kid, Part 2, performed by Peter Cetera. Then Rock and Roll Over You by the Moody Blues. And Fish for Life by Man Crab. Rock Around the Clock by Paul Rogers. Let Me Add by Southside has Johnny. Side 2 is This Is the Time by Dennis DeYoung. Then Earth Angel by New Edition. Then Love Theme from the Karate Kid Part 2. Then Two Looking at One, sung by Carly Simon, and then The Storm. Next up, this is from it's the early 70s. Oh, this is from 1980. This is for Bronco Billy with Clint Eastwood. Here's a gatefold. It has the track listing in there and pictures. And here's the back. And the songs on here are Cowboys and Clowns by Ronnie Milsap, You Lullaby by Penny DeHaven, Misery and Gin by Merle Haggard, Not So Great Train Robber, which is an instrumental, and Barroom Buddies by Merle Haggard and Clint Eastwood. Yes, Clint Eastwood singing. Side 2 has Thunderer's March, which is instrumental. Star Dust Cowboy by the Rhinesmen. Love Theme, Cowboys and Clowns, instrumental. Stars and Stripes Forever, instrumental, and Bronco Billy by Ronnie Milsap. So that's all that one. Next one, another one from the mid-80s that was real popular. That's Top Gun. This was released in 1986. That's the year I got married. Well, anyway, this is, I got married in September of 88 and still going strong. And here's the backside with some small pictures and the track listing. So the songs on this one are on side 1 are I'm not even sure if that's the correct track listing. I'll just read the names of them. Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins, Heaven in Your Eyes by Loverboy, Mighty Wings by Cheap Trick, Take My Breath Away by Berlin, the Top Gun Anthem, Harold Faltermeyer and Steve Stevens, Hot Summer Nights, Miami Sound Machine, Playing with the Boys, Kenny Loggins, Lead Me On, Tina Marie, Destination Unknown, Marietta, and Through the Fire, which is performed by Larry Green. Oh, my mic just jumped on me. And it fell again. Just trying to get some records up. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. Well, here's another 80s movie. This is Flashdance, and a lot of songs on this soundtrack were popular, including the title track Flashdance. It's the first song on side 1, and He's a Dream. Flashdance, What Feeling Is by Irene Cara, performed by Irene Cara. He's a Dream, performed by Shandy. Love Theme from Last Dance, which is performed by Helen St. John. Manhunt, Karen Kamen. Lady, 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 for Joe Esposito. And the score was composed by Giorgio Moroder. Imagination by Laura Branigan. Romeo by Donna Summer. Seduce Me Tonight by Psycho 5. And I'll Be Where the Heart Is by Jim Carnes. And Maniac done by Michael Cimbello. Now here's one from the 80s that had several hits from it. This is the soundtrack to Footloose. Okay, the tracks, this one had a lot of hits on it. It's from Columbia on, what year is it? I don't really see it in the credits from what year it's from, but I know it's the 80s. And tracks on here on side one is Kenny Loggins, Let's Hear It For the Boy, Denise E. Williams, Almost Paradise, Mike Green, Love Loverboy, and Wilson of Fart, Holding Out for a Hero, Bonnie Tyler, Dancing in the Seats, Shalimar, I'm Free, Heaven Helps a Man, Kenny Loggins, Somebody's Eyes, Carla Bonoff, The Girl Gets Around, Sammy Hagar, Never, by Moving Pictures. Yeah, and that's all of them. But do you notice there were a lot of hits from the top 40 hits from here in the U.S. on that one. Okay, I showed you Saturday Night Fever earlier. This is the sequel to it, Staying Alive, with John Travolta in it, and the Bee Gees do sing half the songs on the album. Here's some pictures from it. And the tracks on here, okay, well, let me see this down here. It should say, this is from 1983 on RSO Records. And the first side is are the Bee Gees. The songs are The Woman in You, Love You Too Much, Breakout, Someone Belonging to Someone, Life Goes On, and Staying Alive, which is Staying Alive. It says it's a edited version. Okay, on side 2 is Far From Over, sung by Frank Stallone. Look Out for Number 1 by Tommy Farragher. Finding Out the Hard Way by Cynthia Rhodes. Moody Girl by Frank Stallone. We Dance So Close to the Fire by Tommy Farragher. I'm Never Going to Leave You Up by Frank Stallone and Cynthia Rhodes. Okay, this one's another interesting one. This is Xanadu, and it's the electric light orchestra on one side, and or ELO, and Olivia Newton-John on the other. Here's a gatefold. Seeing if it shows the. Okay, it's from 1980, and it's on, which label is it? Oh, MCA. Okay. Yeah. Well, some of them are done by both, it looks like. Let me see if it says better here. Nope. So the tracks on it are Okay, on side one, the tracks are all produced by John Farrar, and the songs are Magic, Suddenly, Dancing, Suspended in Time, and Whenever You're Away from Me. Most of that's Olivia Newton-John, I know. And the second side has I'm Alive, The Fall, Don't Walk Away, All Over the World, and last one is Xanadu. So that set was produced by Jeff Lynne. I know Xanadu's done by both the Electric Light Orchestra and Olivia Newton-John. Next up, another classic movie, Blues Brothers. This is from 1980 on Atlantic. Here's a back cover. I like that picture on the front though. Okay, so the tracks on here on side one are She Caught the Katie, which is by Jake. Then the Peter Gunn theme and Give Me Some Love done by Jake. Shake Your Tail Feather done by Ray Charles, and Jake and Elwood. Everybody Needs Somebody to Love done by Jake and Elwood. And background vocals as Patty Austin, Vivian Cherry, and Yolanda McCullough. Then the last one on side one is the Old Landmark, which is James Brown with Reverend James Cleveland Choir. James Brown, Spongy's the credit where he's appears courtesy of. Okay, on side two is done by Aretha Franklin. Theme from Rawhide, done by Elwood and Jake. Minnie the Moocher, done by Cab Calloway. Sweet Home Chicago, done by Elwood and Jake. And Jailhouse Rock, done by Jake. Okay, I have on my last four to show you, and I won't be staying on long after this. I'm still not doing the greatest today, but doing a little better than yesterday. So the next one is a 3 LP set. It's the soundtrack to Woodstock. If I remember it, yeah, it's 3 LPs. Here's the gatefold. Just look at that crowd. That shows how packed it was there. Okay, and this is on Cotillion from 1970. And the tracks are on side one. John B. Sebastian playing I Had a Dream, then Kent doing Going Up the Country, then some stage announcements in Richie Havens doing Freedom, Country Joe and the Fish doing rock and soul music, Arlo Guthrie coming into Los Angeles, and Sha Na Na with At the Hop. Side 2 has Country Joe McDonald with The Fish, and Cheer I Feel Like I'm Fixing to Die Right. Joan Baez with Jeffrey Shirtley, Drugstore Truck Driving Man. This is something. Joan Baez and Joel Hill. Then more stage announcements, and Crosby, Stills Nash the Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. Then with them along with Neil Young, the Sea of Madness. Then with the four of them again, that was off side 2. This is starting off side 3. It's Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young with Wooden Ships. Then the Who with We're Not Gonna Take It. Well, that's from Tommy. And Joe Cocker with A Little Help from My Friends. Side 4 has Crowd Rain Chant, Santana with Soul Sacrifice, Stage Announcements with, and then 10 Years After I'm Going Home. At side 4, side 5 has Jeff Hurts Airplane are doing Volunteers. Then Max Yeager jumps up and talks. Then Sly and the Family Stone with medley with Thanks to the Music Lover, I Want to Take You Higher. And John B. Sebastian with Rainbows All Over Your Blues. That was side 5. Side 6 has the Butterfield Blues Band doing Love March. Jimi Hendrix with the Star Spangled Banner. And the Purple Haze and Instrument Solo. And that's that from the Woodstock soundtrack. I'm down to my final 3. This one is for the movie Every Which Way But Loose. Of course, like with Clint Eastwood and all of them. And tracks on this one on, wait, let me see, what's that? It's on the Electra Records. I'm trying to see the year now. Oh, and it is a Gatefold. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm not seeing the year on here. But I'll show you that. It's just a track listing and some smaller pictures. So the songs on here on side 1 is are Every Which Way But Loose by Eddie Rabbitt. Send Me Down to Tucson by Mel Tillis. I Seek the Night by Sandra Locke. Coca-Cola Cowboy by Mel Tillis. Monkey See, Monkey Do by Cliff Crawford. Salty Dog Blues, it's an instrumental. I'll Wake You Up When I Get Home, Charlie Rich. That's was all side 1, this is side 2. Red Eye Special, Larry Collins. Eastwood's Alley Walk, instrumental. Behind Closed Doors, Charlie Rich. I Can't Say No to Truck Driving Man, Carol Chase. Under the Double Ego, that's an instrumental. Biker's Dream, which is an instrumental. Don't Say You Don't Love Me No More by Sandra Locke and Phil Everly. The Six Pack to Go, Hank Thompson and the Brazos Valley Boys. Overture, which is an instrumental. So that's Every Which Way But Loose. Next up, Outlaw Blues. I don't think I've seen this movie. I just got it from a friend of my daughter's. So this is from 1977 on Capitol Records. And the track listings are Everybody's Going on the Road by Steve Fromholtz. I know he wasn't, isn't a well-known country singer, or was, I should say. Jailbirds Can't Fly, H. Sanders and Darcy O'Leary. I Dream of Highways, the Hoyt Axton. Oh, wait. I'm not really, I'm just looking at this, some of the performers on here and stuff, because I think it's just one group singing all these, or no, I guess because it says Hoyt Axton's on here, but okay, Outlaw on the Run by Charles Bernstein. Uh, it's an instrumental. Oh, okay, so Jailbird's on the Jailbird capside the vocal is Peter Fonda. On I Dream of Highways, it's Peter Fonda and Susan St. James. On Outlaw Highway, the vocals, or it's an instrumental by Charles Bernstein. And the last song on side one is Beyond These Walls by Steve Fromholtz. Side two has Outlaw Blues, sung by Peter Fonda. Love Theme from Outlaw Blues, Charles Bernstein instrumental. Water for My Horses, sung by Peter Fonda. Whisper in a Velvet Night, sung by Hoyt Axton, and Little More Holy, sung by Steve Fromholtz. Well, that's that one. Now, this last one's another box set. Let me have a drink before I go on. Well, anyway, it's of an orchestra and various artists coming and playing with them. Oh, wait. Did I show you this? Not sure. But this is the London well, no, it wasn't this one I showed you. It was that other one. I don't have. This is the Who. This is London Symphony Orchestra one. It's a soundtrack for it. And you pull this out. Looks like a pinball machine. I'll just do it like this. You see the flippers and stuff. I'm not really sure who's doing what during this because of course this has Pete Townsend, Sandy Denny, Graham Bell, Steve Winwood, Maggie Bell, Richie Havens, Mary Clayton, Roger Daltrey, John Entwistle, Ringo Starr, Rod Stewart, and Richard Harris. I'll do vocals on here and our characters. But tracks are on side one, Overture, It's a Boy, 1921, Amazing Journey, Sparks, I Sight to the Blind, Christmas. Next side one, side two has Cousin Kevin, The Acid Queen, Underture, Do You Think It's Alright, Fiddle All Around, and Pinball Wizard, which was a big hit from it. There's a Doctor I Found. It's a side three, I should say. Go to the mirror, boy. Tell me, can you hear me? Smash the mirror. I'm free. Miracle Cure. And Sensation. And side four has Sally Simpson. Welcome. Tommy's Holiday Camp Bench. We're no longer going to take it. Let me see. And also in there, let me get it out. It's a booklet. See, with pictures and stuff from it. So that's of them I'm showing that I might do it sometime on my regular Monday afternoon shows because oh, hi Dave, I just noticed you on there. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Kelvin, but Olivia did sing with them on a song on that ELO side. That's a song Xanadu. Hi Dave, I'm about to leave now because I'm still not feeling the greatest today after yesterday. I was just feeling under the weather and still not feeling the greatest today, but I was determined to make this video. So So it's more like a hi, Dave, bye, Dave. It's like that because I'm about to end this stream. So I'll be back on Monday at 1 o'clock Central Time for another episode of Thrifty Tim's Monday midday music and chat. I'll probably do that using StreamYard because I'm not really sure what I want to do yet for then. So, like I normally end off, I'll make videos. It's until next time.